Hello all and welcome to session 9 of Direct Tax 2 4th semester BCom paper of Mangalore University. Today we are going to solve two problems, comprehensive problems on income from house property. The first problem is very important because it is going to cover all the aspects of house property. So let's look at this particular problem. Compute taxable income from house property for the previous year 1920. There are four houses given: House A, House B, House C and House D. As far as House A is concerned, it is a let out house property. As far as House B is concerned, it is a self-occupied house property. House C is self-occupied and House D is also self-occupied. The fair rental value is given 4 lakh, 3 lakh 80,000, 2 lakh 40,000 and 1 lakh 80,000. Annual municipal value is rupees 4 lakh 40,000, 3 lakh 60,000, 2 lakh 80 and 1 lakh 86,000. Standard rent is given for House A, which is 3 lakh 24,000, and for House C, which is 2 lakh 64,000. Annual rent receivable is given only for House A, since that's the only house which is let out, which is 6 lakh rupees. Vacancy period, House A remains vacant for 2 months. Municipal taxes percentage is given, 10% of annual municipal value. House B is 12% of annual municipal value. House C is 12% again, and House D is 15% of AMV. Now, municipal taxes paid for House A is 50%, for House B is 40%, House C is 100%, and House D is 75%. Then ground rent received is given per month for House A 6,000, as we have been discussing that there is no relevance of this particular concept. Interest on loan for House A is 2 lakh 10,000, for House B is 2 lakh 5,000. Now, in respect of House C, a loan was borrowed for the repairs of the house property during the previous year 1819, amounting to rupees 3 lakh 50,000 at 9% per annum. The amount is still outstanding, that is 3 lakh 50,000 is still outstanding, and the rate of interest is 9%. So we'll have to calculate, and it's given very clearly that this loan was borrowed for repairs of the house property. In respect of House D, a loan was taken for construction on 1st of September 2016, amounting to rupees 2 lakh 80,000 at 10% per annum. The construction of the house was completed on 1st of June 2018. On 1st April 19, the outstanding amount of loan stood at rupees 2 lakh 20,000. So here we will have to compute taxable income from house property, that is for all the four properties A, B, C and D. So how do we begin this particular problem? What I will do is, we will first take a note as far as House D is concerned, that is for pre-construction period interest and total interest payable. That will be helpful for us in solving this particular problem. So I just record over here solution. I write note. I record calculation of deduction for interest on loan of House D. There is pre-construction period interest given in this particular problem. Remember, this is a working note. In respect of House D, a loan was taken for construction on 1st of September 2016, amounting to 2 lakh 80,000 at 10% per annum. The construction was completed on 1st of June 2018. 1st of June 2018 is the previous year 1819. We are in the previous year 1920. So on 1st of April 19, the outstanding amount of loan stood at rupees 2 lakh 20,000. So I record over here interest for the previous year 2019-20. So outstanding loan amount given is 2 lakh 20,000 and the rate of interest given is 10%. So 10% of 2 lakh 20,000 is 22,000. Then we add pre-construction period interest. Pre-construction period interest. And point to note, we are supposed to take only 20% of this particular value. So first we will calculate pre-construction period interest and then we'll calculate 20%. Remember 20% or 1/5. Starting from the year the construction is completed. So loan was taken for construction on 1st of September 2016 amounting to rupees 2,80,000. So 2016 September is previous year 16-17. Previous year 16-17. The loan amount borrowed was 2,80,000. The rate of interest is 10% and very important, the loan was taken on 1st of September. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So that will be for 7 months out of 12. So the amount would be 2,80,000. 2,80,000 2,80,000 into 7 by 12. So I'll multiply 12, so 24. 12 3 is a 36. 3 is a 36. 12 3 is a 36 again. So 23,333 into 7. So it will be 1, 23, so it will be 16,333. 16,333 because 2,80,000 into 10%. So of this number if we take around 10%, so that is going to give me 16,333.1. So we leave out that 0.1. So 16,333 is the interest for the previous year 16-17 for 7 months only. Then we have the construction was completed on 1st of June 18. 1st of June 18 is 18-19 previous year, but we still have another previous year in between 17-18. And the loan amount, no change in how much is outstanding. So we keep the same number. Rate of interest is 10%. So 10% of 2,80,000 is 28,000. So total pre-construction period interest that we have will be 20, 30, 38, 44,333. So 44,333 into 20%. That is the pre-construction period interest that will be considered. Now we are not going to take 18-19 over here because in the year 18-19 the construction was completed on 1st of June 18. So 1st June 18 is 18-19 construction is completed. So 20% or 1/5 of 44,333. So I take divided by 5. So 8, 6 and 0.6. So I'll take 8,867. So 20% of 44,333, we will take it as 8,867. So total interest deductible for previous year 1920. This is for house D as we have mentioned in the note here. So total will be 30,867. So this is the working note and we will need this number. So I'll be just recording this number right here. 30,867. 30,867 will be the number that will be needed for us as far as house D interest is concerned. So we will now move to calculate the taxable income from house property. We have already calculated the interest as far as house D is concerned for the previous year 1920 works out to 30,867 through note number 1. So I now record the formal part, computation of taxable income from house property. Computation of taxable income from house property. So what I will do is, I will prepare 3 amount columns. I will need 3 amount columns. So this is the first amount column. The second amount column. And we will take the third amount column for our calculation or computation of taxable income from house property. Okay, so first we will go with house A. We will go with house A. House A. House A is let out house property, clearly given in the problem. Now we will calculate the GAV as it is. So I will record gross annual value. Gross annual value. And house A is a let out property. So fair rental value is 4 lakh rupees. Annual municipal value is 4,40,000. So among the two, whichever is higher. So we get 4,40,000. I compare that with standard rent, which is 3,24,000. So whichever is lower. So 3,24,000 becomes the expected rent. And I compare that with actual rent received. Now, annual rent receivable is given 6 lakh rupees. And it's mentioned that there is vacancy for 2 months. If I divide 6 lakh by 12, that is for the year, per month rent works out to 50,000 rupees. And for 2 months, the house remained vacant. That means 1 lakh rupees is the vacancy period rent. So from 6 lakh, I can deduct 1 lakh, I get actual rent received as 5 lakh rupees. Expected rent is 3,24,000 and actual rent received is 5 lakh rupees, whichever is more. So 5 lakh rupees actual rent received becomes the gross annual value. So I record 5 lakh in the outer amount column. So 5 lakh is recorded in the outer amount column. Then we go through the normal process, less deduction under section 23, that is deduction for municipal tax paid. Municipal tax paid. Now what is given? Municipal taxes is 10% of AMV is given. AMV is annual municipal value, which is 4,40,000. So I record 4,40,000 into 10% is given, 10%, and also thereafter is given 50% is paid. So only 50% is paid. How much is paid is deductible. So 4,40,000 into 10% is 44,000. Half of 44, 50% is 22,000. So I can deduct municipal tax paid 22,000. So I get 4,78,000 as the net annual value. Net annual value for house A. And from this I can claim deduction under section 24. We have standard deduction at 30% of NAV. 30% of NAV. 4,78,000 into 30%. Into 30%. So it will be 47,800 into 3. So that will be 24, 23, 1,43,400. So I recorded here 1,43,400. So 40, 40, 120, 120, 141, 142, 600, 143, 400. Yes. So standard deduction at 30% of NAV is 1,43,400. Then we have interest on loan. We have interest on loan and it's given very clearly. Interest on loan for house A is 2,10,000. So 2,10,000 is the value. So two deductions. So total deduction under section 24 would work out to 3,53,400. 3,53,400. So if I deduct 7 minus 3 is 4, 7 minus 5 is 2 and 1. So 4,70,000, 77, 78. So 1,24,000 is income from let out house property. Now next is, there are three houses in this particular problem, house B, house C and house D, which are self-occupied house property. Income tax rules pertaining to self-occupied house property is very clear. Maximum 2 houses can be treated as a self-occupied house property, and the remaining houses will be treated as deemed to be let out. So now we are not clear whether house B, house C or house D, which among the house has to be treated as a deemed to be let out property. So we will take a note, and that will be note number 2. Note number 1, we have already taken interest on housing loan as far as house D is concerned. So I will record note number 2. And here we are going to take option in note number 2. So we record over here calculation of income from house property B, C and D and its treatment as self-occupied house property and deemed to be let out property. This is a very, very important note that we need to take. Now, since there are 3 houses mentioned, what we will have to do is, we will have to take options, and we will have to take 3 options. I'll just show it here. I will record this one as option 1. Say option 1. We'll take option 2 and we can treat this as option 3. So option 1, option 2 and option 3. So as far as option 1 is concerned, I will record house property B, house property C and house property D. So once again I record B, C and D, B, C and D. So in option 1, I will take house property B as self-occupied house property. Options C, I will take SOHP, and house property D, let's say I will take it as deemed to be let out house property. In option 2, I will take house property B as SOHP, self-occupied, option C as let out house property, and option D as self-occupied house property. In option 3, I will take house B as let out house property, house C as SOHP, self-occupied, and house D as SOHP, self-occupied property. So let's look at the number. Now we need to create 3 amount columns over here under option 1, option 2 as well as option 3. So I'll just divide the column. Okay, because any 2 houses can be taken as self-occupied. So one house will be treated as let out. In house option 1, I am taking house D as let out. In option 2, I am taking house C as let out. And in option 3, I am taking house B as let out. So first thing that we will record over here is the gross annual value. The gross annual value. Point to note, as far as let out self-occupied house property is concerned, it is nil. So wherever we have written SOHP, you can record the word nil. Nil. So all SOHP column, the value is nil. Now we remain with self let out house property. Let's take house D now. House D. The fair rental value is 1,80,000. Annual municipal value is 1,86,000. So among the two, whichever is higher. There is no standard rent, there is no annual rent receivable. So I record over here 1,86,000. I record 1,86,000 as the value. Then as far as house C is concerned, in option 2, fair rental value is 2,40,000. Compare that with annual municipal value, which is 2,80,000. Among the two, whichever is higher. So 2,80,000. Compare that with standard rent. So among the two, whichever is lower. So 2,64,000 is expected rent, and that itself will become the gross annual value. So 2,64,000 will be the value. 2,64,000. Let's come to house B now in option 3. 3,80,000 is fair rental value. Annual municipal value is 3,60,000. So there is no standard rent, no annual rent receivable. So among the two, whichever is higher. So 3,80,000 will be the gross annual value. So I record 3,80,000 as the value. Then I take less deduction under section 23. Deduction under section 23. Municipal tax paid. Now as far as self-occupied house properties are concerned, there is no deduction for municipal tax at all. For the simple reason is, from the self-occupied house property, you have only one deduction, and that is interest on housing loan. Now, municipal tax paid of house property D in option 1. Municipal taxes is 15% of AMV given. Annual municipal value of house D is 1,86,000. 15% of that would work out to 27,900, and 75% is paid. So I record over here 20,925. 20,925 is the municipal tax paid as far as house D is concerned. Option 2, house C. What is given? Municipal tax for house C is 12% of AMV. That is 12% of 2,80,000. And in that, 100% is paid. So 12% of 2,80,000 would work out to 33,600. So 33,600 is the municipal tax paid as far as house C is concerned. Let's go to option 3 now. In option 3, B is treated as deemed to be let out house property. So it is 12% of AMV. So AMV is 3,60,000. So 12% of 3,60,000, and in that 40% has been paid. Meaning to say 3,60,000 into 12% into 40. That would give you 17,280. So 17,280 will be the value. So if we calculate the deduction, we get net annual value. And net annual value for all self-occupied will be nil. We will calculate for house D under option 1. So 1,86,000 minus 20, 925. So 1,86,000 minus 20 is 1,66,000. So it will be 1,65,075. 1,65,075. 1,65,000 plus 20 is 1,85,000. 925 plus 75 is 1,000, which will be 1,86,000. The 2,64,000 minus 33,600, that would be 2,30,400. 2,30,400. So 64,000. 3,80,000 minus 17,280 for house B in under option 3. That would be 3,62,720. So 3,62,000, 70, 77, 78, 79, 900,000. So 3,62,720 will be the net annual value. Then we have less deduction under section 24. Deduction under section 24, we have standard deduction at 30% of NAV. So here it is all nil. So I just put a dash in self-occupied house property columns. As far as house A is concerned, it will be 1,65,000. So I'll just show the calculation here. 1,65,075 into 30%. So that would be 16,507.5 into 3. So that would be 49,500, 49,521, 22.5, 49,200 and, so just calculate, 15, 21, 2, so it is 2, so 49,521.5. So I'll take it to the next number, 49,522. I will approximate it, 49,522. As far as option 2, house C is concerned, 2,30,400 into 30%. So it will be 23,040, which will be 10% into 3 I'll take. So 0, 12, 9, 6. It will be 69,120. So 69,120 is the value. Then for house C, it is 3,62,720 into 30%. So it would be 36,272 into 3. It will be 6, 2, 18. So it will be 1,08,816. 1,08,816. 1,08,816. Then we have interest on loan. Now, very important aspect in this particular problem. Interest on loan. As far as house B is concerned, interest on loan given is 2,05,000. 2,05,000. Remember, it is, if I have to write self-occupied house property, maximum amount of deduction. There is no mention whether it is purchased, reconstructed, repairs, renewal. So we assume it is purchase or construction, and maximum amount of deduction is 2 lakh rupees. If it is a self-occupied property, it is 2 lakh rupees. Then for house C, a loan was borrowed for repairs of house property during the previous year 18-19, amounting to rupees 3,50,000 at 9% per annum. The amount is still outstanding. So if I calculate 3,50,000 into 9%, and this would work out to 35,000 minus 3,500. So 3,50,000 into 10% would give you 35,000. 35,000 minus 3,500 is 31,500. So 31,500 is the value, but, and this amount is still outstanding. The loan was borrowed for repairs. loan was borrowed for repairs. So SOHP, borrowed for repairs, maximum deduction is 30,000 only. Only if the loan, self-occupied house property loan is taken for purchase or construction, it works out to maximum 2 lakh rupees. But though, our house property, this house C, a loan is borrowed for repairs, maximum deduction is only 30,000. Though the interest paid is 31,500, since this is borrowed for repairs, maximum is 30,000 if it is a self-occupied portion. Then house D we have already calculated. It is here we had calculated in note 1, 30,000, and this is let out, so entire amount is deductible. So 30,867. 30,867. This is for option 1. Let's move to option 2. Again for house property, since it is self-occupied, I will record it at 2 lakh rupees itself. Because the loan amount given, interest on loan amount given is 2,05,000. And since it is self-occupied, maximum deduction for self-occupied is 2 lakh only. We assume that it is for purchase or construction, though it is not given in the problem, doesn't matter. We are just assuming. Then for house C is now let out property in this option. And we have calculated for house C, the interest is 31,500. So entire 31,500 is deductible, since it's a let out portion. As far as let out is concerned, there is no limit for interest on housing loan deduction. See here, house B was a self-occupied house, so maximum was 30,000 because it was taken for repairs. But in this option 2, house C is let out, so entire 31,500 is deductible. Then self-occupied house property, as far as house D is concerned, is same, because house D is a loan is taken for construction. So purchase and construction, I said maximum is 2 lakh rupees, but our house D, it is only 30,867. So 30,867 is the interest on loan as far as house D is concerned. Though it is self-occupied, the loan is taken for construction. Coming on to house B, it is let out house property and it's given interest on loan for house B is 2,05,000. Since it is let out, 2,05,000 would be deductible. 2,05,000 would be deductible. So take a note, it is self-occupied, so maximum is 2 lakh. Here also it is self-occupied, so maximum is 2 lakh. Here it is let out, so it is how much interest is paid. 2,05,000 is paid, so 2,05,000 is deductible. Next comes house C. Again it is self-occupied, interest rate is 31,500, but you know that house C is taken for, loan is taken for repairs, so maximum is 30,000. Maximum is 30,000 rupees. And house D, it is self-occupied, loan is taken for construction, we have already calculated, so it is 30,867. So we have got all numbers now. We have got all numbers and we'll have to calculate how much is the amount under option 1, option 2, option 3. So here it is 0, self-occupied, 0 minus 2 lakh is minus 2 lakh. So I write the number in bracket, it is minus 2 lakh. Here it is minus 0 minus 30 is minus 30,000. So first we will take all self-occupied ones. So here again it is minus 2 lakh. Minus 2 lakh. Here it is minus 30,867. Here it is minus 30,000 and here it is minus 30,867. So we are getting a few numbers. Now next is this number. How much is the income from house property as far as house D is concerned in option 1? So here we have 1,65,075. So I just record over here 1,65,075 minus these two numbers 49 plus 30, 40, 30 is 70, 79, 80,000, 80,300, 80,389. So 7 plus 2 is 9, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 1, 10, 9 plus 1 is 10, 0, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 80,389. So if I minus, so 15 minus 9 is 6, 16 minus 8 is 8, 9 minus 3 is 6, 4 minus 0 is 4, and 15 minus 8 is 7. So 70, 150, 154. Let's keep it at 18. So 84, 17 minus 16 minus 8 is 8, 9 minus 3 is 6, 4 minus 4, 16 minus 8 is 8. So 80, 160, 164, 1,65,000, 69, 70, 75. So 84,686. 84,686 is the value. Let's come to option 2, house 3. Option 2, house 3. So it is 2,30,400, this number, minus these two numbers together. So 90, 1,620. 1,620. So 0, 2, 6, 9, 10, 0, 1. So 1,620. So I get the number 10 minus 2 is 8, 13 minus 6 is 7. So we get 9, 3 and 1. This is 2. So 2,29,000, 30,300, 30,400. So 1,29,780. 1,29,780. That's the positive value. These two are negative values. This had to be deducted. Remember? Then the last one, as far as house D is concerned, we have 3,62,720 minus these two numbers, 1,08,816 and 2,05,000. So that will be 3,13,000. 3,13,816. 3,13,816. That is to be deducted. So this would be 0,4. 17 minus 8 is 9. 11 minus 3 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 30, 3,50,000, 3,58,000, 61, 62, 720. So 48,904. 48,904 is the value. So these two numbers had to be deducted. Now we have got all the numbers in option 1. So what we will do is, we will now take what is the value or taxable income under option 1, option 2 and option 3. We will have a look at that now. So 2 lakh, this is minus 2 lakh, minus 2 lakh, minus 30,000 and plus 84,686. So how much value do we get? Here we have minus 2 lakh, we have minus 30,867 and we have plus 1,29,780. Here we have minus 30,000, we have minus 30,687 and we have plus 48,904. So we have to find out how much is the value. This is 2,30,000 minus 84,686. So 2,30,000 minus 84,686. That would be 4, 1, 3, 5, 4, 1. So 2,20,000, 2,29,000 and 2,30,000. So this would be minus 1,45,314. So the net income from house property is a negative value under option 1. 1,45,314. Let's move to option 2 and option 3 now. It is 2,30,867, that's actually negative value, minus 1,29,780, that is a positive value. So you get 7, 8, 0, 1, 0, 1. So 1,37,867. So you get a negative value of 1,01,087. 1,01,087 is the number that we get as far as option 2 is concerned. As far as option 3 is concerned, we have plus minus 30,000 minus 3687 plus 48,904. So that would be 60,687 minus 48,904. So 60,687 minus 48,904, that would be 3, 8. 16 minus 9 is 7, 1 and 1. So 49, 59, 6,600 and 87. So it will be a negative value of 11,783. 11,783. Okay. So these points are done. Now very important point we have to understand. If we choose option 1, we get a negative income of 1,45,314. If we choose option 2, we get a negative income of 1,01,087. And if we choose option 3, we get a negative income of 11,783. So the question arises, which option will the SSC choose? Point is simple, where the SSC gets more benefit, where the SSC gets higher deduction, where the SSC gets higher deduction, I think that option will be chosen. And if you see, among the 3 options that are available right here, among, I can record this as analysis, among option 1, 2 and 3, option 1, 2 and 3, SSC is getting the benefit under option 1, which is more, because he can claim maximum deduction from this because it's a negative value. So option 1, 2 and 3, SSC gets more benefit from option 1. Gets more benefit from option 1. So SSC is going to choose option 1 for the calculation, option 1. So meaning to say, this option will be considered. This option will be considered. So 1,45,314. Actually, you can record directly as given in note, note 2, or you can take the calculation as it is, treating house B as self-occupied house property, house C as self-occupied house property, and house D as let out property. So what I can do is, I can record here as house B. So in this option, as you saw, house B is treated as a self-occupied house property. So I record over here SOHP. Annual value of a self-occupied house property is always nil, less interest on loan, interest on housing loan, and we have already calculated this in option 1. Since it is a self-occupied, though the interest paid is 2,05,000, maximum deduction is 2 lakh only. So 2 lakh. So 0 minus 2 lakh would give you minus 2 lakh. Minus 2 lakh will be the amount as we have got over here. Then house C will also be treated as self-occupied house property. So once again, the annual value of that house would be nil less interest on loan, and it's given as far as house C is concerned, loan is borrowed for repairs. So though the interest amount is 31,500 as we have calculated, but maximum deduction is only 30,000. So 0 minus 30,000 would give you minus 30,000. That will be for house C. Now very important for house D. House D, maximum 2 houses can be claimed as self-occupied, and house D will be treated as let out, that is deemed to be let out property, though it is not really let out. So we will have to go through the procedure. GAV, we have already calculated all these numbers, 1,86,000. So I will record 1,86,000 here, GAV, less deduction under section 23, that is for municipal tax paid. All these numbers we have already calculated, so we don't have to calculate again. We need to just fill in. It is 20,925. 20,925. We get net annual value. Net annual value. Net annual value is also calculated. 1,65,075. 075. Then we have less deduction under section 24. We have as usual 2 deductions. Standard deduction already calculated at 30% of NAV. Standard deduction at 30% of NAV calculated is 49,522. We have already calculated here, and we have interest on housing loan. Interest on housing loan. Interest on housing loan, it is 30,867, calculated in note number 1. 30,867. So total deduction that we get under section 24 is 80,389. So we have not calculated, oh no problem, 89,000, sorry, we get around 9, 8, 13, 80,389, and 1,65,075 minus 8389 will give you 84,000, that is positive value, 84,686. 84,686. So that will be the positive number. So 2 lakh, negative value 30,000, positive value 84,686. You get minus 145,314. So 145,314 is this value, which we are going to get from these 3 numbers. Then this is negative value, but you are taking the other way. So 1,24,600 is the income. So if we deduct, you get 45,314. So you get a negative value of 20,714. So you had this number, which is 1,45,314. 1,45,314, and this is plus 1,24,600. So minus 1,45,314 plus 1,24,600 would give you 20,714, and this 20,714 is a negative value. So overall there is a loss from house property in this particular problem. So loss from house property for the SSE is 20,714. So when we are given two or more than two self-occupied house property, we have to do the analysis under option 1, 2 and 3 and treat each of the house differently. So in option 1, house B is taken as SOHP, house C is taken as SOHP and house D is taken as deemed to be let out. In option 2, B and D is taken as SOHP and C is taken as deemed to be let out. In option 3, we have taken C and D as SOHP and house B is taken as let out house property. So based on that, we have done all calculation. Some points as far as house C is concerned, the property is taken for repairs. So since it's a self-occupied, maximum deduction is 30,000. But when it comes to the same house under option C, this is let out. And in let out, entire 31,500 is deductible. In option 3 again, house C becomes self-occupied, max deduction for repairs is 30,000. House B, the interest on loan paid given is 2,05,000, but since it is SOHP, maximum deduction for purchase or construction is 2 lakh rupees. So you have kept 2 lakh over here. This again here house B is self-occupied, so 2 lakh, and since here it is let out house property, entire 2,05,000 is deductible. So we get all these numbers for each of the column, and in option 1 we get minus 1,45,314. In option 2 we get minus 1,01,087, and in option 3 we get 11,783. So the question is, which option should the SSE choose? Whichever option the SSE gets more benefit. And if you look at it, more negative value means from the positive income the SSE can claim deduction and reduce his tax liability. So 1,45,314 is more beneficial. So among options 1, 2 and 3, SSE gets more benefit from option 1, which is 1,45,314. So whatever is written in option 1, we are going to replace it here. So treat house B as self-occupied house property, annual value nil, interest on housing loan is 2 lakh rupees, so you get a negative value of 2 lakh rupees. Again, house 3 is a self-occupied house property, annual value is nil, interest on loan is borrowed for repair, so max deduction 30, so you get minus 30,000. House D is treated as deemed to be let out, and we will record the numbers as it is. 1,86,000, municipal tax paid 2925, you get net annual value 1,65,075. Then standard deduction 30% is 49,522, and interest on loan we have calculated in note number 1, 30,867. So total deduction under section 24 will be 80,389. So from 1,65,075 we deduct 8389, we get 84,686. This is the number that we get, 84,686. So 2 lakh minus 30 plus 84,686, we have the number ready, 1,45,314, which is a negative value. This is positive income, deduct 1,24,000, so you get a negative value of 20,714. So overall, there is a loss from house property in this particular problem. So I hope this problem is understood.